Hello everyone, and welcome back. Today, we dive deep into a love story that has captured the attention of thousands of viewers, a story that blurs the line between cinema and life itself. The relationship between Diep and CEO James is not just a theme for a YouTube series, but also a tale many believe continues to unfold beyond the screen. But are they really a couple in real life? To answer that question, we need to travel back into their past, retrace their steps, and understand the forces that shaped their journey. James. From a humble beginning to a life of purpose. James, whose real name is Bano, was born into an Hachaman family in Vietnam. While his siblings chose early marriage and left school behind, James's path was different. He pursued education with an unshakable determination. Out of a passion for acting, he studied film in the capital, but life carried him elsewhere. Rather than building a career under the bright lights of cinema, James turned toward public health. Over the years, he rose to hold a prominent role in a healthcare company, an achievement that not only earned him respect but also gave him the opportunity to participate in charity work. Friends and colleagues often describe him as both approachable and charismatic. His presence, marked by striking looks and a gentle smile, made him well liked in professional and social circles. Interestingly, many thought James had studied abroad in Singapore. But as it turns out, that was never true, it was simply a detail borrowed for a fictional storyline. Reality, as we will see, often intertwines with the scripts he later helped bring to life. The birth of a creator. The rise of YouTube creators like Litikai and Green Forest Life inspired James to embark on his own creative journey. It was a bold move, filled with uncertainty. His first attempts fell flat. But perseverance paid off. Eventually, he found success with the channel Litieka, which resonated widely because of its heartfelt stories about a single mother's struggles and triumphs. Through this channel, James built not just a following but also a bridge that connected his past with his present, and eventually, with his future. Diep. A journey of resilience. Let's turn now to the woman at the center of this story. Diep, whose real name is Nguyen Khan. She and James were not strangers thrown together by chance. They grew up in the same hometown, walked the same paths in school, and shared a young love that felt as if it could withstand anything. But life is rarely that simple. Family expectations and cultural barriers stood in their way, and their youthful romance ended in heartbreak. Khan later married and welcomed a daughter named Ni into the world. For a time, it seemed she had found her own path. But her marriage, too, did not last. After the divorce, she moved back to her parents' home, raising Ni and working as a farmer to make ends meet. Fate dealt her another cruel blow when her ex-husband passed away in a tragic car accident. Left to navigate grief while supporting her daughter, Khan's resilience became her defining strength. When life and fiction intersect, it was against this backdrop that James returned to his hometown. Seeing Khan again, and learning about the difficulties she had endured, ignited feelings he could no longer suppress. The two reconnected, this time with a deeper understanding of love and loss. They began dating in real life, but their relationship quickly met resistance. James's parents worried about gossip. Would neighbors whisper about their son marrying a woman who had once been married and already had a child? Such concerns reflected cultural stigmas that still linger in many communities. But James was firm. He reminded his family that true love mattered above all. His conviction and loyalty inspired the creation of Diep, a YouTube series that combined fictional flourishes with moments drawn from their reality. In the scripts, Diep was reimagined as a single mother abandoned by her in-laws, while James played a young CEO returning from Singapore. Their on-screen chemistry mirrored the depth of their off-screen bond. Viewers were drawn in, uncertain of where fiction ended and truth began. From resistance to acceptance, the success of their channel was undeniable. Millions tuned in, captivated by stories of sacrifice, endurance, and love. With every video, James and Khan seemed to prove their devotion not only to each other but also to their audience. Eventually, this perseverance softened the resistance at home. James's parents came to accept, and even cherish, the relationship. What had once been frowned upon became a union blessed by family and celebrated by friends. The couple soon announced their marriage, and their story took on the glow of a fairy tale. A wedding like no other. The ceremony was held in a picturesque valley in their hometown, framed by terraced fields and shadowed by majestic mountains. A small stream meandered nearby, adding to the setting's natural beauty. The space was transformed into a blend of elegance and authenticity. Wildflowers intertwined with bamboo fabrics and hand-embroidered brocades, creating an atmosphere that was both rustic and refined. Guests arrived to find long tables draped in white linens, lanterns glowing gently above them as dusk descended. The menu reflected the harmony of past and present, mountain specialties paired with delicately presented modern dishes. Music floated through the air, traditional mouthharps and bamboo flutes blending with international love songs, creating a soundscape of celebration. Khan, radiant in a white gown adorned with hand-embroidered brocade motifs, looked every bit the symbol of grace and resilience. James, dignified in a black suit accented with a brocade tie, honored both tradition and modernity. Little Nee, dressed like a princess, scattered rose petals before them, her presence a reminder of the new family being forged that day. The ceremony followed the customs of their community, beginning with blessings from the village elders. As Khan walked down the aisle, led by her father, James's eyes never left hers. Under an arch of bamboo and wild orchids, they exchanged rings. But perhaps the most moving moment was when James knelt before Nee, presenting her with a rose and a small necklace. His promise to love and protect her as his own daughter brought many guests to tears. In his speech, James reflected on the trials that had led them here and expressed gratitude to his parents for finally embracing his love. Khan, overwhelmed with emotion, thanked James for lighting up her life and that of her daughter. By the time James's parents offered their heartfelt blessings, all doubts had melted away. A celebration of new beginnings, the reception was a joyous blend of traditions and modern performances. Friends performed traditional flute dances, while others sang love songs. Glasses were raised, laughter filled the valley, and lanterns floated skyward as the evening deepened. The night culminated in the cutting of a three-tiered cake, fireworks bursting overhead as the couple sealed the day with a kiss. For those in attendance, and for the millions who later watched their story online, the wedding was not merely a union. It was a testament that love can endure storms, that perseverance can silence prejudice, and that fairy tales can sometimes step out of fiction and into reality. Closing thoughts. The story of Diep and CEO James stands at the crossroads of fact and fiction. Whether seen on screen or lived in real life, their journey resonates because it reflects something universal. The human longing for love that is unwavering, for family that is accepting, and for happiness that is hard-won yet enduring. And so, their wedding was not just an ending, it was a new beginning. A story of two people who dared to believe that love, no matter how complicated, was worth everything.